Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. It is I, Mama, and I am here with you today to do a new episode of Diary of the Middle-Aged White Woman. You don't have to be a woman or a white or middle-aged to enjoy this series here, because it's about just different things. Every episode we cover a personal topic, a news or out there topic that everyone knows about, and an opinion piece. And I'm hoping that with this series, you guys will be more interactive with me, because when it comes to the opinion pieces, I really want to know what you think. What is your opinion? So let's see. My personal thing. This is kind of a little bit of a diary entry, somewhat, but you guys are my friends. You guys are here for me, so I have no problem sharing my feelings and some of the things that I'm going through with you guys. So, I have three adult kids, as some of you probably know, and I am very close to one of them. Lizard is our youngest, and we are very similar in beliefs, interests, and behaviors. We are best pals. But because of my relationship with the other two kids, I feel like a failure as a mother most of the time. This is heavily edited for time. This is a long story, so you're only going to get some of the bits and pieces that I think are most um important. And there are many, many, many more examples and details. But that whole situation deserves its own episode and not to be crammed into a part of another one. So we may get to that at some point if y'all want to hear about it. But Mallow is our oldest biological daughter. We were close, she and I were really close until her teenage depression began about middle school, somewhere around there. Um, and I became the enemy. But it's crazy to me that she thinks or feels that way, because I have fought for her and for our relationship her entire life, but she just doesn't see it. When she was a freshman in college, she got kind of, quote, brainwashed by her new group of friends, and it was her first, again, in quotations, friends, since her first year of high school, really. So it had been like 4 years since she'd really had a friend group. And so she got very, very invested in that. And I don't blame her. I know not having friends at any age is difficult, but especially as, a teenager. And I know that she would bitch and complain about her parents like everyone does. And they convinced her that we were emotionally abusive, manipulative, that we were using her somehow. And 6 months later ish, she moved in with her crush in that group, and then bounced from place to place for another year after that didn't work out. Um, she ended up back home, but our relationship has been broken for years now. I mean, that was 6 or 7 years ago. And I have tried everything possible to undo the damage that was done, but it never lasts long. And then it comes back around to, like, I could say the sky is blue, she would scoff and roll her eyes. If one of her newer friends, or Lizard, who's her favorite person, tells her the sky is blue, she'd talk to them for hours about what specific color it was and how many clouds and all this. Like, she would just go crazy. And to say that it hurts is a massive understatement. Um, and from the time she was a teenager, she would listen to, trust, and go along with anything her friends did, liked, or thought. But if it came from me, well, you get the idea. Um, and I still have a kind of traumatic PTSD from the time period of her moving out and what she believed about me and us. And it still silently breaks my heart to see her having great relationships with her friends while I struggle to get her to talk to me. And I'm thankful. I mean, I am thankful she has friends, okay? But I pray that the same thing won't happen again. I'm always so nervous that, someone will try to get her to believe some nonsense again and she'll fall for it. And, it's heartbreaking. And Tiger is our unofficially adopted son. Our kiddos were friends with him online when gaming, okay? And when he came to visit, and we all met in real life, and we heard some of his story. If you want to know more about that, listen to some of our first episodes with Tiger in them, and you can learn more about his story. So we kind of, again, in quotations, adopted him. And this was a couple years ago. Last year, we took a family road trip vacation to visit Papa's family, and that was about 1,000 miles away from home. So, of course, we invited all three of our kiddos to go along, and it was a great time. Then this year, we thought it would be fun to start a podcast, and all five of us were in. To be honest, Tiger and I did everything ourselves the first 3 months or so. And then a few months ago, he accused me of some ugly things, which absolutely broke my heart. And it still hurts. And I mean, it's been 3 months and it still hurts me. I tried to figure out what happened and why he lashed out at me. He messaged me an insincere, backhanded apology the next day, but it was littered with reasons and excuses for why he did it. All of which I'd have had a ton of sympathy and empathy for had he mentioned them on any of the 3 times I spoke to him on the phone, but he didn't. Because when I'd spoken to him 2 days before his lashing out, he sounded down and I asked if something was wrong. He said he was just tired. The next day after that, I called him after work specifically to check in with him because he'd sounded so down. He said he was just really tired and sore from his new, more physically demanding night shift job. I gave him some mom advice on how to help with both. That was it. And then the morning of the lashing out, I called him before he went to bed just to chat. And then when everything was fine, right? No worries. Then he woke up that evening to go to work and he used his few minutes for getting ready to leave messages and voice messages. And he just messaged me an eruption of ugly. And then the next day he sent me the apology. And he hasn't mentioned it since, even though I'm not okay with the situation as it is. Now, I adopted him as my family in my heart. I was all in. But now I've had the really hard realization that he did not and does not feel the same way towards me for whatever reason. He did not consider me family. I'm Mallow and Lizard's mom. That is fine if that's the way you feel, but I still have feelings and they are hurt because I am grieving the loss of a relationship that I guess never really existed. It was in my head, but I feel hurt and sad and stupid and a little humiliated and a little bit irrational. And I feel a sense of loss, you know? And I don't think that he understands the depth of the hurt that I felt. And this all made Thanksgiving awkward. Because of me, my parents treat him like another grandkid, and he's included in everything. But my feelings toward him have changed. And I don't have an issue with Mallow being close to him. I'm happy they have each other. But Papa and I are not in the same place, and we are not, at peace in his presence right now. Mallow, of course, was and is firmly on Tiger's side. Any side but mine, really. Don't get me wrong, I am not asking or expecting anyone to choose sides. We are family, that's it. But it would be nice to feel a little empathy, maybe some compassion or support from my kiddo. Is that too much to hope for? I don't know, but I hope for it. And I had a bit of an epiphany. And I think that this is why I have felt differently about Mallow for a few years. One is because I'm completely afraid to open myself up to her because she's broken my heart a few times. Two, I feel like I don't really know her. Years ago, I got the rude awakening that she isn't the person I thought I raised. And that was extremely difficult. And since then she's had a wall up to me, and I never got an opportunity to get to know her, despite all my efforts. And so, like, a familiar stranger has been living in our home for 4 years, being a gross slob, rarely doing any chores, and making more work for Papa and especially Lizard, who does the lion's share of the housework, and occasionally me. And it bothers me that the difficult roommate is making things harder for my bestie roommate. It bothers me that he's getting the benefits of my family when he doesn't consider us or me family. If he had come along as Mallow's friend, which we've done with our friends several times before, I would feel differently. But right now, I feel almost like fraudulent. You know what I mean? And y'all, okay, that's how I feel about it. That's what I'm feeling right now. I hope you can kind of understand where I'm coming from if I made it clear. But this series is never meant to blame, point fingers, or incite bullying behavior. These are my feelings. Feelings are subjective and easily changed. Hopefully, hopefully, things will improve and I will feel very differently soon. But please do not name, call, or insult my kids. None of us are perfect, and we're all constantly a work in progress. This series is to share my feelings in the hopes that other parents who have been in my situation might be able to relate and maybe have advice. Also, if any of you are going through something similar, we can commiserate together. No family is perfect because every member is a human. My family isn't perfect, but they're perfectly mine. So I thank you for being respectful. I try hard not to, name call anybody, but this is for more advice and maybe feel, again, getting a little bit of compassion. Advice would be great, but no name calling and finger pointing and oh, you're a crappy mom or oh, they're horrible kids, kick them out. That's not how we roll. It's just everyone needs to vent, and you guys are, I consider you my friends, you're my fam. So, I trust you to, help me out with some advice maybe. So, on to the news portion. So, the news. This is my opinion, and that's I don't know how popular it will be, but there was a news thing a little bit back about Jimmy Fallon and Dwayne The Rock Johnson buying FAO Schwartz gifts. Like just surprising people with like, oh hey, you got all this stuff and we're gonna pay for it for you. Surprise. All right. Those people do not need help. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson has not learned a single thing from the Maui wildfire. Are you freaking kidding me? Why are you donating to well-off people? If you are at FAO fucking Schwartz, you do not need someone to come along and buy your freaking toys. I don't care if you're buying for an okay. If they're buying for an orphanage, obviously, step up, dudes. But if you're just, no, no. And why are you donating to rich people or people who have plenty of money? Donate to retirement homes, orphanages, and kids in foster care. Donate to Shop with a Cop. Pay off school lunches. Veterans posts like the VFW or AMVETS, etc. Donate to homeless shelters or local pet adoption programs. Not the huge charities that steal money from programs to pay a CEO. But you need to donate directly to any local charities. You need to do better, Mr. Johnson and Jimmy Fallon. Mr. Fallon, you need to do better. I know you're in New York, and FAO is probably, like maybe down the block from your recording studio. I don't care. Do better. Do better. That is not okay. You do not need to donate and surprise people who have plenty of money shopping at FAO Schwartz to surprise them with Christmas, paying for their Christmas gifts. No. No, no. Naughty. Just stop it. Oh God, are you guys, does this make anyone else as irrationally irritating to anyone else? Is it? Because it really fucking pisses me off. Like, no, no, just, no, hang on. Yeah. Okay. That was my news portion. I just saw that and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he got shredded for the Maui wildfire donation thing. And like, I don't know if he's trying to be more relatable or whatever, but it's not relatable. I would not even want to walk in FAO Schwartz in case I accidentally broke something because I know I couldn't pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, on to a very, very interesting opinion piece. I cannot wait to see what you all have to say about this. Okay, this is an Am I the Asshole? It says, okay, so here's something of what is going on. These are very long-standing issues between myself, male 35, and my wife, female 35, that have been causing problems for at least 6 years. One of the main ones is her cleanliness. She doesn't clean. Now, I know that sounds sexist, but hear me out. She works part-time, about 20 hours a week. I work full-time, 40 to 60 hours a week. Our son, 4 months, or sorry, obviously he's a male and he's 4 years old, goes to nursery school 5 days a week. On my days off, I do housework like cleaning, washing dishes, etc., but she rarely does anything to help with any of the housework. She actually adds to it by cooking for herself or baking and then not tidying anything up, even the leftover ingredients. I have found food days old buried in the washing up pile because she didn't throw it away. Yes, we have a dishwasher. No, she doesn't empty it, hence why we have a washing up pile. I empty it and reload it whenever I have time. She maybe will put the odd load of laundry on, but not out after it's finished. Ooh, leaving it in the washer for days? Or we'll wash up a couple of plates when we have run out of clean ones. Her personal hygiene is unfortunately just as bad. She washes once a week, maybe. Even really basic things like flushing the toilet, she doesn't do. Ooh, you guys. During her period every month, she wears pads rather than use tampons. I couldn't care less what product she uses as long as she finds ones that she likes. What I care about is her leaving them used, laying on the floor in our bedroom for days or weeks in some cases, or leaving them stuck in her underwear, which she then puts in the wash, which might not get found for a couple of weeks. There is no, quote, intimacy between us, not in any aspect. No holding hands, no cuddling, no nothing really. Sex is virtually non-existent, months between occasions, and she just lays there and doesn't participate. We have spoken multiple times about these issues and others, but nothing changes. I am doing whatever I can to stop our house from becoming hazardous to live in, especially as we have a 4-year-old, but I'm getting to the point that I can't keep up with everything anymore. It's starting to affect my mental health badly. I actually dread the thought of going home now after work. I still love her and I would never want to hurt her in any way, but I just can't keep doing this for much longer. So am I wrong for wanting to leave my wife? She does already have depression and is on medication for it. However, she flat refuses to talk to or do anything further about it. I have suggested going back and seeing the doctor, counseling, single or couples, and therapy if she wants to do that. I got a no for all of it. I have encouraged her to no end to seek help, as I really do care about her, as well as discussing the whole cleanliness issue, amongst others, for years, but I believe you cannot force someone to help themselves if they don't want to. I have sat down with her and told her that things need to change, and that if they don't, then that will be the end. I was very blunt and made it incredibly clear that this was the last chance. I even set a hard deadline of 1 year, but it's been several months and nothing has changed. We have spoken about these issues dozens of times over the last 5+ years. Wow. That is crazy and sad and a little gross. Um, I don't know. It just kind of screams like a hoarder situation to me. And that is a psychological issue. And it's not something that she can just snap out of or control or whatever. Um, it definitely requires intensive counseling, but like you said, if she doesn't have any interest in changing, um, nothing is going to change because she doesn't care if it changes. I hate to do anything to, promote breaking up a family, but again, that isn't a safe environment for your child. And um, yeah, I don't, that's a horrible situation, you guys. What do you think? Like, I don't know if I could deal with somebody being that gross. And again, I know in my head that it's, a legit issue. It's a condition that, requires medication and therapy and all that stuff. But I got a thing about that. Like, I just don't know how people can just not take care of, especially things that are like biological hazards, like blood and poo, just leaving it in the toilet and not flushing. Like, I don't understand that. There's definitely a need for some medical intervention, I think. And I sincerely hope that whoever these poor people are, that things work out well for them. But what do you guys think? How would you manage that if that were your spouse? Let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of um Diary of a Middle-Aged White Woman. If that's a horrible name, let me know. I just was trying to find something that, kind of would be kind of fun and clever, and I fully admit I'm not that fun or clever. So, you know, maybe you guys can help me find a different name for this series. All right, guys, until next time, wear your seatbelt, use your turn signal, spay and neuter your pets, and please be kind because yeah, everybody needs to have a little kindness. Until next time, you guys. Bye.